Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, what we have here is that we're going to be talking about Bill Gates making a new, completely artificial and chemical and based butter. And for whatever reason, we have people that want to eat it, or rather, nobody wants to eat it. It just so happens that these morons and these oligarchs want you to eat it, and they're trying to play it as an actual food, but in reality, it's not, because there's a lot of things we shouldn't be eating. Like artificial foods, artificial dyes, artificial sweeteners. Like all these things are absolutely terrible for you. They'll most likely bring you into a quick grave. So yeah. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get directly into this. So we have this here from Shadow of Urza or Ezra saying, a Bill Gates backed company is now producing butter with no animals, no plants, and no oils. It's made from carbon. The company is working with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers to incorporate their carbon-made butter. Major media reports it as has a blessing and backing of Bill Gates. Now, this is a huge concern, right? Because when you have companies like that working with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers, you better be damn sure, or better damn hope that that these people here are letting they know that they're using fake butter, because nobody wants to eat fake butter or this garbage because it's terrible. It will have terrible, I will almost guarantee you, has terrible long-term side effects because it's just garbage. So without further ado, let's finally get into this.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia.
In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food. And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company is called Savor, and you better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no.
The thing that I have a problem with this is as that there is nothing wrong with actual plant or food-based or animal-based type stuff. I mean, they're natural. It's called the cycle of life, and normally you just not want to disrupt the cycle of life because it's kind of important. And there's a whole reason why this is here. I mean, if you're not removing certain things or whatever, it can majorly disrupt certain balances within the world itself. And this is not like a conspiracy theory; it's literally actual fact. Because if you do not shoot deer or clear them out in a certain period of time, they do over-inhabitate things, and it causes a problem. The reason why we have hunters is not because it's also just because we like hunting and what have you. It's because that when you hunt, you make sure that these animals don't over inhabitate certain areas and make things worse. You got to keep things to a still. There are certain reasons why. Now, of course, you don't want to do it to extinction. That's the reason why you need regulations for things like that. But again, there's a place and reason for all of this. They're just trying to disrupt it and feed you absolute garbage.
Long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here? Replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me to simplify. They take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at first.
But they're fat molecules, like the ones in beef, cheese, or vegetable oils.
Yes, because something very good. It may look appetizing. Wax may look a little bit of appetizing, but for some reason, I just don't want to eat wax.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing zero greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
We're not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though
I like how what a lot of people have noticed too, that there's actual just slop water behind there. What's slop water exactly? What are we doing here? What's slop water? What's in that?
We're standing in a factory setting.
And in addition to the carbon footprint being much lower for a process like this, right, the land footprint is like 1,000 times lower than what you need in traditional agriculture.
I know what you're thinking.
I think we need to taste it. I would love for you to taste this.
How does it taste?
I love butter, so I'm going to take a really healthy amount.
Admittedly, surprisingly, like butter.
Cheers.
We're tasting butter.
Another reason they say this makes an impact: no palm oil, a significant contributor to deforestation and climate change. That's not all. Of the 51 billion tons of greenhouse gas.
Listen, you need to deforest things to clear away for new trees so that way you do not get fires. If you do not get rid of fires or the deforestation, the fires will be more prevalent and things will become worse. We deforest not because we hate trees. We deforest to prevent fires and other tragedies that end up happening because of not removing them. This is how stupid these people are.
Gases emitted every year, 7% is from the production of fats and oils from animals and plants. So when could you get a taste yourself? Right now, they're working directly with restaurants, bakeries, and food suppliers, releasing these chocolates made with their butter in time for the holidays.
Savor butter in either its current manifestation or with our partners. We expect that to be on the shelves kind of more like around 2027.
Their teams here in Batavia, Illinois, and their home lab base in San Jose, California, backed by Bill Gates, who wrote in his blog, quote, "The idea of switching to lab-made fats and oils may seem strange at first, but their potential to significantly reduce our carbon footprint is immense. Believing butter can make a difference."
This is really about how we feed our species and heal our planet at the same time. I put more information on food sustainability and how this could impact our food industry moving forward in the story that's up on our website right now, where you'll also find more information about this company. Reporting.
Yeah, so a lot of people are angry about this. A lot of people are pissed. We have this here from Carol M. Swain, PhD. We need a list of every food and pharmaceutical company backed by Gates. I'm interested in voting all their products. Gruel says disgusting. They are combining hydrogen, carbon, and that to taste like butter. Why do this when we already have butter? Yeah, exactly. There's absolutely no reason. Like, it's actually fine to do this because it helps in the long run, right? Like somebody's mentioning that there is slop water there. Any restaurant using this would not be getting my business. If you all eat any crap that comes from Bill Gates, you all deserve what you get. I don't care. More people talk about the slop water. My butter has 2 ingredients. That CBS report was pretty deceptive, comparing that product to margarine, but pretending to compare it to butter. Bill Gates and the people he backs are a menace to society. This is only what he does in the U.S. and other emissions. Details: Kerrygold butter, salted tub, pasteurized cream salt. Warnings: contains milk. Warnings: contains milk. Why is this a warning exactly? Why is milk a warning? And then recreating the conditions found at deep sea hyperthermal vents to produce carbon chains. We take carbon from where it's abundant, the atmosphere, the earth, and other emissions, and join it with hydrogen in the presence of a catalyst to create hydrocarbons, the foundation of fatty acids. Yeah, and one of the warnings is quite literally, contains milk. Even this guy here says, I say this with all respect, but Bill Gates can F right off. The man is a greedy oligarch who thinks he gets to decide what the world should eat and hope we all should live. Yeah, so people are rightfully not angry, are very angry about this. And you have this guy here, Slightbinger says, this is a power grab masquerading as progress. They're not trying to solve a food shortage. They're trying to engineer one. You take something nature gives freely, that millions of small farmers can produce without permission, and you replace it with something that requires corporate labs, IP protections, and centralized distribution. That flips butter from a commodity anyone can make into a proprietary product controlled by a handful of actors. Once they own the source code for your food, they can alter it, date it, and revoke access at will. tie it to ESG compliance, health passports, carbon credits, and suddenly eating becomes conditional. The moment you set synthetic replacements for staples, you set a kill switch over your diet. This is the same playbook as fiat money and conventional banking. Replace something real with something they can conjure, manipulate, and weaponize. The goal isn't to make butter without cows. The goal is to make humans without sovereignty. This makes way too much sense, and I could even agree with this too, because we know on how greedy and how evil these corporations are, and the fact that you're going to believe Bill Gates is all encompassing and wants to save you and what have you is lying through their bloody teeth, because that's not the case. He just wants to make money off of you and make sure that you can just make sure that people are perfectly good sheeps and just eat the slop and everything happy, right? Of course, we have more information with this, so I'm gonna go with this here first. You know how this company here? Well, it is by Bill Gates in particular. So what we have here is that based on provided information, Saver, the company producing butter made from carbon dioxide and hydrogen, is backed by several investors. Bill Gates' Breakthrough Energy Ventures, a prominent investor in Savior, highlighting their interest in sustainable food solutions. Climate Capital, a venture capital firm based in San Francisco, invested in Savior's Series A round. So, so it has crazy things, right? Now, what we're going to focus on is the Breakthrough Energy Ventures, because this here is what we're going to end up finding out. So, another sketchy 501c3 created just to capture APA funds authorized by the Inflation Reduction Act. Power Forward Communities got its tax-exempt status in March 2024. I wonder why that is. And immediately got a $2 billion grant from Biden. They don't even have a CFO, apparently. They're hiring one. So it says here, we're pleased to tell you we determine you're exempt from federal income tax under External Revenue Code. Donors can conduct contributions they make to you under IRC Section 170. You're also qualified to receive tax-deductible bequests, devised transfers, or gifts under Section 2055, 2106, or 2522. This letter could help resolve questions on your exempt status. Please keep it for your records. Yeah, so, and it's telling you who this is, December, or what have you, Department of the Treasury, which is a government-based entity. Oh, no. And the organization is the Power for Communities, and all this stuff. So, again, the FAVC was awarded a $2 billion grant in the Environmental Protection Agency National Clean Investment Fund. So, again, this is insane. And it gets worse where you have, where all this is, what's been going on here. So, again, this is all stuff that is being made by, this is all government funded. This is terrible, right? And the fake meat industry is getting desperate. It says here, when Impossible Foods, Peter McGinnis hints that his plant-based meat company might start breeding in real beef into its burgers, you know the fake meat industry has reached a crossroads. Yeah, so they're incorporating real meat into their Impossible burgers or their garbage food because it's all bad. And look at this. The Impossible Feast has been tanking ever since its inception. It's gone completely downhill. And again, a climate group funded by Bill Gates is drastically cutting its staff, according to new reports. Breakthrough Energy, an umbrella organization funded by Bill Gates that works on a wide range of climate issues, announced deep cuts to its operations in an internal memo Tuesday. So nobody is eating his slop either. Nobody's eating this garbage. And the only other way that you're going to end up making this happen is if you have government force you to eat the slop, force you to eat this garbage. Because as you can see here, nobody in their right mind wants to eat this garbage, wants to eat this slop. So again, it's just another crazy thing that the government is doing. And it's funded by the government. And you can see this here. It's quite obvious. So, again, guys, this is what we call insanity here. And we're going to do one final thing as well. The final thing that we're also going to say is that none of this stuff is actually good for you. Artificial food can be a mixed bag. While many artificial food additives are considered safe by regulatory bodies like the FDA and are generally safe for most people, some studies suggest potential links to health issues, particularly with long-term consumption or sensitive individuals. Concerns include potential links to hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, and even long-term health problems like cardiovascular disease or certain cancers. So we have that there you have to risk for. And then we have studies back to the 1970s that artificial sweetener can cause bladder cancer in rats. And some research on long-term daily use of artificial sweeteners suggests a link to a higher risk of stroke, heart disease, and death overall. So yeah, it seems like a lot of these artificial things are not great. And what we would call this food is artificial garbage slop that is full of chemicals that want to just this garbage, don't eat the slop, which I think learning this and knowing this from Bill Gates, you're not even going to be even swayed to do so at all. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Let's guys share. As always, take care, my friend.